a shift towards cloud-based operations across sports broadcast. Why is this and what benefits does it bring?
Well, I think that the broadcasters are definitely seeing the advantages, both in flexibility, cost savings, scalability, of moving their productions where it makes sense into cloud. That doesn't mean that everything on the ground is suddenly going to become cloud-based, but rather certain types of events that really don't need a full crew to be traveling constantly from event to event can now be positioned in such a way that not as many people need to travel, that the resources can be used in a more affordable way, that they're only paying for the resources they need as they use them. And then when they're not using them, they don't need to be budgeting for either the actual equipment, but also the personnel involved. And that personnel can be assigned to other projects. So I think there's a lot of really nice advantages for the broadcasters to be considering cloud for any of these types of productions that don't need an entire truck and an entire crew of people to go out, set up galleries, and be running their sports productions.
Okay. And Waves is perhaps best known for music production, but you're increasingly active in broadcast audio. Are there any similarities between the two sectors, and what tools are available for engineers in sports broadcasts specifically?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, of course, Waves is known very well for music, for post-production. Just about everything we hear these days, from latest hit records to studio post-production for the latest movies, most of it is done with Waves processing. But a lot of people don't realize that wave processing is also involved in broadcast today. We've been involved in live broadcast and post-production for a couple of decades now. Many of our plugins and our audio processing is used for everything from mic balancing using the Dugan auto mic mixing to specialized compression, different types of audio processing that can help the broadcaster get just the right sound before it goes through all of the broadcast systems. And having the most optimal sound at the front end is certainly good to have the best sound at the back end. And in the end, the actual customer, the actual consumer watching the broadcast may even be listening through a device, through Waves consumer group that has Waves audio implemented in that, whether it's a laptop or cell phone or other type of device as well. So what we bring to broadcast is the ability to bring the quality of Waves right at the front end of the production. So it's no longer where does Waves show up at the back end, but actually making the production as best as it can be at the front end when the engineer is first working on the mix, so that that audio goes in the best quality and most pristine way it can from the beginning all the way out to the listener at the other end of the broadcast.
Okay, and you released the cloud-based Cloud MX audio mixer earlier in the year. Tell us about this and how it's been received.
Yeah, Cloud MX has been very well received by the broadcasters this past year. We announced it earlier, as you mentioned. Cloud MX is based on a software-based mixer that we've had out for several years now called Emotion LV1. We took that core mixing engine along with the plugins, created a cloud-based version of it so that it would run entirely in the AWS infrastructure. So rather than having a full console and any type of ground-based DSP, everything is completely based in the cloud and can be run from as simple as a laptop to actually having a fader panel and additional control surfaces as your production needs. So you can have audio engineers that have nothing but a laptop working on the entire mix, including monitoring all of the sends, all of the Q buses, anything that they need to really dive in and get a detailed view or hearing of the audio with any type of audio processing that's needed in the broadcast chain. And this has really been a game changer for us because it allows us now to take Waves audio processing beyond just what's known as plugins and actually using a full mixer in a cloud production that will interface nicely with anything else that is running in the cloud environment for the broadcasters.
Brilliant, sounds great, thank you.
Yes.